Jump scare. Jump scare. Hi guys. Jump scare. Get jump scared, nerds. How's my volume? Is the music too loud? Is it too quiet? Am I too loud? Am I too quiet? How we doing? How is we doing, gamers? Happy Monday. It's been a little bit. I didn't stream last week, but we back. We back, gamers. Voice and music are good. Excellent. Excellent. Welcome to a very cursed drawing stream where I will be drawing cursed things. But yes, hi everybody. Hi. We streaming. I'm just gonna go ahead and get started while I talk. But yeah, so in case you did not read the title and description of the stream beforehand, we are working on some very silly draws for today. The mail club theme for next month, as decided by patrons, is what would happen if the cast of my webcomic swapped roles. And so it's just like, what if Vector was the angry bounty hunter and Ariana was the little baby? And so now it's highly cursed. It's highly cursed, but this is what the people wanted, so I'm drawing it. I'm gonna be honest, gang, I did not think this one was going to win when I put it in the poll. I mostly put it up there for jokety jokes, and then the people picked it, and I was like, okay. It is very silly, but we are making it happen. You guys want to hear something crazy? I have been drawing in my sketchbook so much over the past couple of weeks. I haven't drawn anything digitally in... When did I... Okay, so I've drawn digitally. I sketched these on my tablet, but I haven't, like, my iPad. But I haven't drawn on my Cintiq in weeks, and I've been drawing in my sketchbook more frequently, and I'm just like, I sat down to draw this, I put the pen to the tablet just now, and I was like, huh? Where am I? Where am I? How do I draw? I don't know. I'm a professional artist. I don't know how to draw. But yeah, I've been drawing a lot of my sketchbook recently, especially the last couple of days. I discovered a very potent combination of art materials that I really, really, really am enjoying quite a bit. So I bought, so I have the sketchbook that Ohuhu sent me, and I've been doing, that one's like nice, fancy schmancy marker paper. And I've been drawing in that, but I also, at some point after they sent that one to me, bought like a new Moleskine sketchbook. Just for shit drawings and getting the feelings out. So it's like half journal, half sketchbook, half diary at this point. It's just the place where I put my thoughts. You've not even been drawing Castoff pages. Well, okay, so like I sketched and inked pages last week, and then I finished some pages this week, but I haven't like drawn anything from scratch in a fair bit of time here. And it just feels weird. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, so I got like a new Moleskine sketchbook, and to be honest, I'm not like the biggest fan of Moleskines ever. I personally find them a little bit too expensive, but they have like I don't know if it's new or if I've just never seen it, but they have like art Moleskine sketchbooks now with like this really nice thick paper that's like super smooth, and I saw it at the Barnes & Noble the other day, and I was like, oh, it's retail therapy! So I bought myself a new one. And if folks follow me on Kara, you've seen these. I've been posting a lot of like my doodles on Kara. I'm very much enjoying that platform. But I've discovered a potent combination. I will show you guys some of these. Of sketching with highlighter and then inking with like a synthetic brush pen that I have. And I was drawing these little fucking guys last night. I was having the fucking time of my life drawing last night, just sketching dumb shit in highlighter, in like rainbow colorful highlighters, and just having so much fun. And I drew several of these. I'm working on character designs for some of the NPCs from our Thursday D&D game. And so I have a page of Darius's that I like, and then I have a few pages of Mira's. I have not settled on Mira's design, but I really like... Okay, so this is Darius. He's a fucking wizard. He's a jerk, and I love him. And then I'm also working on some Mira's. I have not settled on a design for Mira yet. She eludes me still. We're working on it. It's fine. But yeah, so I've just been drawing, and after I'm done with this stream, I'm probably gonna go do some more. Star can have some retail therapy as a treat. Yeah, I probably do too much retail therapy, but it's just like, sometimes you see a shiny art thing at the store, and you're like, this will fix all my problems. So yeah, there's that. I did buy the sketchbook a couple weeks ago, though, so glad you're having fun doing traditional art again. Me too. This is like the most fun I've had drawing in general in quite a while, and I'll talk about it more once my I have my traditional art video coming out. That's coming out this Friday for non-members, non-patrons, but if you're a member, like a channel member or a Patreon subscriber, you can watch my next video right now. It was supposed to be a video just talking about like, oh yeah, who sent me these markers, and I'm gonna draw some stuff with them. And instead of just like doing a review, you know, making a normal video, doing a normal review and talking about it, is like, oh yeah, here's some markers, let's draw with them and talk a bit. It turned into, yeah, let's do that for like the first 5 minutes of the video, and then I'm gonna take 15 minutes to talk about how monetizing your hobbies fucks up your brain. Also, Jared strikes again. Thank you for the 50 gifted subs, my goodness. He has struck again. Thank you as always, Jared, appreciate it big time. If you just got gifted a membership, make sure to say thank you, and also make sure to go check out my new video. You can watch it early now if you're a new member. I said the M word. I should have known that Jared was gonna come swooping in as soon as I said that. I should have known. I should have known. Yes, make sure to say thank you, gang. You got him a push-up. And then you can go watch some of my membership videos. Yeehaw. I can't read my chat for a while. It is just going. I didn't get to gift enough for your birthday. No, it's fine. Oh my goodness. I didn't stream on my birthday. I didn't feel like it. Also, my birthday was on a Thursday, so I don't usually stream on Thursdays. But yeah, I was going to stream on Monday last week, as kind of like a last hurrah of the Kickstarter type thing. But if I am being completely honest, gang, I was not up for streaming last week. A lot of shit happened, and I'm not gonna go into it, but I was just like, the idea of streaming and being in front of people when I was in that type of a mood, gave me heart palpitations. So I was like, I cannot be funny on the internet right now. I am having a very bad day. So I decided to just take the week off for my health. I'm not back up. I would not say that I'm back up to 100% yet, but I am back enough that I'm feeling okay being in front of people. And also, I have shit to draw, so you guys are gonna keep me company while I draw the shit that I have to draw. That's what we do here, you know? But yes, I did have a birthday. I did not do anything special for my birthday. I didn't do a stream or anything. Didn't feel like it. You're allowed me time too. Yeah, I know. I see how much joy these streams bring people. Folks are always talking about it, and it makes me very happy. I am very glad that folks are getting stuff out of these streams, because I enjoy doing them. I enjoy hanging out and talking to you guys. I enjoy our cursed talks. I just, you know, sometimes you're just not feeling up to it, and sometimes you're just having a bad day, and you don't want to, like, have to worry about being entertaining. You just want to take some time to yourself, you know? So that's what I've been doing for the past week or so. It's taking some star time. Your streams are more fun when you're enjoying them, so we don't mind if you need a break. I do appreciate that. I really very much appreciate that my chat, my viewers in general, are so freaking chill. I like you guys. I see other VTubers who have, like, wildly entitled and, like, feral fan bases, and I'm just like, I am glad that my audience is, for the most part, fairly normal and, like, chill. We're chill because of you? Oh, well. I appreciate it regardless. We're fine and normal. We sure as fuck are. I'm doing my freaking best to be fine and normal over here, gang. But yeah, it's like, you know, like I was saying, I kind of trailed off, but I see how much people enjoy these streams. I see how excited people get when it's stream time. And, like, it's to that point where it's like, I don't want to disappoint folks, because I know that people really do enjoy these streams, and that makes me extremely happy, and so I want to live up to that, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I have to be reasonable with what I can do. And some days you are just not in the right headspace for it, and you just need some time, and that was very much me last week. I was just like, I need to just veg and get shit done for, like, a week. That's fine. But yeah. I have had my veg week. Things are not, like, 100% back to good yet, but it's out of my hands at this point, so that's all. Not 100% better, but they're better than they were last week at the very least, so. But yeah. Just let that be a moral to you, chat. Life is hard sometimes. Life comes at you fast. Just try and roll with the punches and do the very best with what you can, right? Yeah. You do what you can with what you got. And then you go home and you draw silly, silly things. Like, what happens if your characters have a role swap, and I saw some of you guys trying to come up with names for this AU in the chat, but this is maybe just a me thing, and I want to preface this by saying I know nothing about Homestuck aside from what I have learned against my will. However, part of the things I have learned for my will has been watching, so, you ever have, like, comfort video essays that you just kind of go back and rewatch sometimes because they're entertaining and they're long enough that you can just put them on in the background for a while? I've got, like, a whole playlist of those, and I just recently rewatched the Sarah Zed Homestuck video. And now, just because they said the word hive swap so many times in that video, the word swap in my mind is just a Homestuck word now. And so it's like when people were talking about it, it's like, oh, it's a role swap AU. I'm like, no, you can't call it that. You can't call it that. You can't, it can't, I know that's what it is. I know that calling the thing what it is what we want to do, but I'm going to veto any option of a name for this AU that has the word swap in it, because in my brain, that's a Homestuck word now. And I know that's silly. I acknowledge that that is extremely silly, but yeah, we can't control what our brains do sometimes, chat. We can't control what our brains do. But yeah. Freaky Friday Castoff edition. That's not bad, actually. That's not bad. Roll shuffle. Switch off. That's kind of fun, actually. Cast change. Offcast. Offcast is kind of fun. Offcast is kind of fun. Because it's like, it's the thing, but it's backwards. Woo! Roll switch. That's better. I don't know. There's lots of good options. I will let you guys fight over it. Why is your avatar / VTuber model showing so much skin? You think this is showing so much skin? I don't even have my titties out. I don't even have my titties out. What? I could be so much worse. To answer the question, because. I like offcast since it's a role swap AU since fits the name since the name is swap. Yeah, I read that sentence exactly for how the words were. I can speak English. Star, stop making me laugh so much. No. No. I am here to be a strange woman on the internet. I am here to be a strange woman on the internet. Someone in the YouTube comments called me that once. And it made me giggle. And so I am that now.
Call it Fatak. I'd kiss just reverse Castoff.
Okay. Fatsack it sounds too much like other words. It sounds too much like fart sack. And I'm not into that. But Half-Lazy Arts, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Shoulders are the most scandalous. Yeah, I know, right? Fucking deltoids. It's a saxe. You're our favorite strange woman on the internet. Yay! I am so glad. I am so glad. I've been thinking about this a lot recently. Just thinking about, like, perception versus reality of, like, online personalities. Because I think it's like, such an interesting topic. And there's, like, nothing in particular that has sparked that. It's just something I've been thinking about recently. It's just like, I wonder how other people would describe me. It's like, if you were trying to convince a friend to, like, watch my streams, or, like, sell them on me as a content creator, capital C, content creator. I know. We all hate the words content creator in this house, but I mean, like, for me, it's like an umbrella term because I do so much shit. But it's just like, I wonder how people describe me to their friends. I wonder. I'm still in denial that you're tall. I'm fucking 5'10", god damn it! God damn it! I am tall! I am tall! Yes, I'm tall! What do you mean she's tall, question mark? I am so tall! I am almost 6 feet! God damn it! God damn it! When I wear high heels, I'm 6 foot tall! I'm fucking huge! I bust out of Earth's atmosphere! The reason I'm so weird is because the air is thin up here! Wait, you're tall? Yes! Why is that so surprising to people? Ah! Star is tall but has short girl energy. Okay. So when I was at MomoCon, this conversation came up multiple times, and you want to talk about short girl energy, you got to talk to my friend Sarah. My beloved best friend Sarah, love of my life, has been my bestie for like over 10 years at this point. She is 4'11" and 3/4. And she has like the most gremlin energy of any person I've ever met, ever. You want to talk about short girl energy? It's my friend Sarah. And if you want to get to know my friend Sarah, you should listen to our podcast, Idle Days. There's a link in the chat. But yes, so like, it's funny because I keep having to describe us like this. So you guys think that I have gremlin energy, And yet, whenever Sarah and I are in the same room, I immediately, just because of the way our energies match, whenever she and I are in the same room together, I instantly become the straight man in the comedy duo. Like, she's the little nightmare creature, and I'm the one who's trying to keep the conversation going. And she's just like, okay, I'll give you guys a perfectly fucking good example. Anybody who follows me on Blue Sky, did you see that tweet I posted a couple days ago where I was like, I just took an out of context screenshot of a message I sent to a friend that says, why the fuck would you do that? I'm telling everyone. But then I proceeded to post no context because I thought it was funnier without the context, and it was. I was right. Would you guys like to know context for that? Would you guys like to know what the context was for that fucking message? Allow me to go into my DMs with my beloved Sarah. And I'm going to read this exchange to you. So, my dear beloved Sarah is lactose intolerant. She is fiercely in denial. She is lactose intolerant. We all know this. She says she doesn't. She does. She does. And so when I went over to her house a few weeks ago, she made me drink Mountain Dew because she was trying to get points for like
Castoff. How about Spinoff?
Spinoff's pretty good. Spinoff's pretty good. Half Lazy Arts, thank you for the super chat. But yes, so when I went over to Sarah's house, she made me drink Mountain Dew because she was trying to save up points for a mount in Final Fantasy or something. But she doesn't drink soda very often, so she's just like, come over to my house and drink my Mountain Dew. And I was like, okay. And so I did. I drank one single small bottle of Mountain Dew, and it made my tummy very upset. For like the entire rest of the day, my tummy was in pain. And so we were talking about that, how Sarah is lactose intolerant, and I'm apparently Mountain Dew intolerant. And we were talking about this. And where is it? Oh, so okay, so I'm just going to read this to you verbatim, okay? Sarah, oh, I just remembered my sin. Me. What sin, in all caps? Sarah, you know what really fucks up your system? Me. Sarah, what did you do? What did you do? And then I'm gonna copy this image because there is no other way for me to describe this to you. She sends me, this image with the caption, Mountain Dilk. And I said, Sarah! I said, Sarah, no! Sarah, no, why? She said, this was like 3 weeks ago. It tasted good, but my body wasn't happy. I was cooking while drinking Mountain Dew, and the demons won. To which I replied, why the fuck would you do that? I'm telling everyone. We then spent a while talking about how mixing milk and Mountain Dew essentially creates the cursed liquid that you have to drink before you get a colonoscopy. And then we started talking, I started shaming her in the public friends chat. And then she and Alia started talking about a new fucked up concoction that they have dubbed Rainbow Mountain Dilk, which is various flavors of Mountain Dew combined with various types of milk to achieve death, probably. And I was just like, you guys, I want to die just reading this conversation. This is hell. I'm in hell right now. So, that's the context for that image that I posted on Blue Sky. Are you guys better or worse for having that context? Are you better or worse, do you think? How do you feel after learning this? So when I say I don't have gremlin energy, I need you guys to understand that I am comparing myself to Sarah, the generator of Mountain Dilk. The nightmare goblin 4'11" person that I have shared my life with for the past 14 fucking years. That is why I can never claim gremlin energy. Because when I think gremlin energy, I think of Sarah. And that is why I cannot accept the gremlin title. Because I have been beat out in every sense of the word. By my best friend of 14 years, alright, alright. It's the worst. I love her so much. But then she says these words to me, and I'm just like, I kind of want to try Mountain Dilk, but I know for sure it'd make me sick. Sarah did describe it as, intestinal washing machine. So, I mean, go with God. Have the hospital on speed dial. And straight up goblin behavior. You know what? Honestly, yeah, probably. She's just... I love her to death, but what the fuck? I will never be on board for mixing milk with anything and then just calling, like, I was introduced to the concept of pilk a few years ago, like Pepsi milk, and I'm just like, I just don't like anything that ends in ilk. Milk gets a pass because that's an actual word, but combining milk with anything and turning it into an ilk word, I hate it immediately and I wish for it to stop. I will never be on your side. I will never accept this. I refuse this energy. I do not allow it into my house. And now Sarah's threatening that if she ever eventually comes over to my home, she will make dilk on just in my home. And I'm like, stop dilking. Stop fucking dilking. You can't do this in my home.
Vector is only mad because he has no cookies.
Here in Queer, thank you for the super chat. Yes, Vector is very upset about the lack of cookies. It's like, I'm not getting any fucking cookies in this AU or like real life. What the hell? I'm gonna explode something about it. Dilk sounds terrible out of context. Yup. Yup. Is Milpsy okay? See, that sounds like a cartoon character. Milpsy sounds like a character from Moomin. That sounds like a Moomin character. That sounds adorable. That sounds like a small, soft rabbit. Pilk just sounds like a fucking nightmare creature. Pilk sounds like fucking something that you would pull out of a vat of radioactive waste. It also doesn't help that the first time I ever heard the words pilk, I thought it was pickle milk. I didn't know it was Pepsi milk for like several months. I heard pilk, I immediately jumped to Pepsi milk, thought that's disgusting and cannot be real, and disregarded it, only to learn multiple months later that it was in fact Pepsi milk instead. Which is, I guess, a little better than pickle milk. People are asking me if soda would make milk curdle. I mean, if you think about it, my one defense, it's not really even a defense, it's just kind of like, oh, I guess I kind of get it, but it doesn't make me want to try it, is that like, root beer floats exist, and that's basically putting milk in soda. Ice cream is just a few steps forward of milk, and that doesn't curdle. In fact, I quite like root beer floats. Does not make me want to try Pilk or Mountain Dilk anymore, but it's just like, okay, I guess I can see why some people might think that that is a pleasing combination. It's not for me, and I will not be engaging with it. Cow is a few steps backward from milk, it sure is. It sure is. The sentences we say in the stream. I feel like... That thought left the train station and never and isn't coming back. The only reason I have not been keeping up with like making new clips and putting them on my other channel is because downloading YouTube videos and like getting the clip out of that's like one of the things that I miss about Twitch streaming. Is Twitch streaming you can just make a clip and then you can download just the clip and it's fucking easy. YouTube streaming you can't do that. There's part of me that wants to go back to multi-streaming and just like not paying attention to Twitch chat ever. And it's just so that I can download clips from my own streams. Cause like, damn it, YouTube, let me just download the clips, please. But like, YouTube doesn't want you to download videos in general. And so it's just like, because it's like, I want to make little edited versions of the just funny bullshit that I say on stream sometimes and continue to, you know, like make TikToks and shit about them and make shorts and put them on my other channel. And it's hard, so I don't do it right now. It's a pain. I was paying someone to make clips for me for a little bit. But they weren't doing stream clips, they were doing other things for me. Like, all of my VTuber shorts, I was paying someone to do. And I kind of want to start paying somebody to just, like, make clips from my stream. I can just, like, send them timestamps and be like, hey, can you, like, you know, download this, edit it, add some captions, make it a little fancy. Nothing, like, too crazy, but just, you know, just, like, add a little pizzazz to it so it's more interesting to watch. So that I can have, you know, like little clips of the dumb shit that I say for TikTok and YouTube shorts and Instagram reels and shit like that. But it's not something I have looked into too much. How long until the Discord gets a dilk emoji? Never! Never say that word! I never want to see the words dilk emoji in my chat again. Never ever say this to me ever again. Cursed. No, God.
No dilk emojis.
Thank you, Vector. No dilk emojis. Absolutely not. What about a pilk emoji? No! No! Stop. Please. I'm dying. This is death to me. This is death to me. I'm dying. I'm dead. You all have killed me. I come back from a week off of streaming and this is how I'm treated? With all this dilk energy? Stop it. I'm spraying chat with a water bottle right now. Psh, psh, psh. Don't be like this. Star, your friends have said things about milk, and we're going to forget what they said. We're going to forget what they said because it's horrible, terrible, and I don't like it. We're not doing this. What is dilk? You don't want to know. Trust. Mountain Dew with milk. Is that what you wanted to know? I've been farting around with like a different way to draw eyes recently. And I experimented with it in this mail club and I think it looks cute. This is my attempt to avert the conversation away from dilk. Cease and desist. Cease and desist.
When are we playing Honkai, Mother?
I don't know when we're playing Honkai, Vector. My thing is, like, I think Boot Hill's banner is over already, isn't it? there is no cowboy anymore. Like, you can't get him right now because I think we missed the opportunity to get that cowboy. I think we have missed cowboy opportunity, so I'm not sure if the Honkai stream is still happening. Because, like, my thing is, I do love Boot Hill. He was made specifically for me, and I do want to just run around with him. I don't want to get into an entirely new game just for a dumb cowboy. And I have heard that, like, the story's really good. I don't know. I had no interest in the game at all until I found out about Boot Hill. And so it's just like, I don't know if I care enough. I don't know if I care enough. And it's just like, you know, if I'm gonna stream a game, I want it to be one that I'm actually interested in having fun with, right? And it's just like, you know, it could surprise me. It could be really good, and I could really get into it, but I don't know, gang. I don't know. We've missed our opportunity for now, but it's just like, Honkai is really fun when you get into it. Yeah, and I mean, like, people keep telling me that. But it's like, that doesn't... It's like, you know how when you get recommended something a whole bunch, it kind of turns you off of actually, like, you know, enjoying it? It's like, for me, what works better? Okay, because, like, this isn't a legitimate psychological thing, I feel like. If someone just tells me, you should play this game, it's really good, now it feels like an obligation. Now it feels like, oh, my friend likes this thing, and they think that I would like it. But I don't, like, I kind of just have to trust my friend's judgment there, and I don't know if I will actually like this thing. And therefore my brain is like, we're not going to do that. We're not going to watch this, we're not going to play this until it strikes our own personal fantasy. However, sometimes, I feel like if you're, the point I'm trying to get to, and taking a very roundabout way, is that if you're trying to recommend something to someone, you have to, like, be more specific as to why, right? Someone could just tell me the story's really good, and I'd be like, okay, how is it good? How is the story good? What does the story do that is interesting and good? Like, actually tell me something, you know? Because it's like, people always say, it's like, the story in Final Fantasy XIV is super duper good. And, like, I believe them. I'm sure it is good, because I've heard enough people say that it's good. I have a feeling that the story, I would probably enjoy it if I sat down and played it. But it's just like, but why is it good? Why is it good? Give me something to latch onto, you know? Like, I had a friend of mine recommend, I forget which show it was that she recommended. I need to go back. But she was like, like, this kind of feels like it would be right up your alley because the plot does this thing that I know that you love because you did it in your webcomic too. And I was like, ew. Ew. And so then I was like 10 times more interested in checking out the thing. I still haven't checked out the thing because I don't have a way to watch it. But it's just like, I need to know why a thing is good. I can't just go into a thing knowing, oh, it's good. I want to know why it's good and why I would like it, right? Having it easily accessible also helps. I think it was Severance that she was recommending to me. But I don't know. There's a lot of, like, TV shows with one word. And I get confused. Have you watched Breaking Bad? I've watched most of Breaking Bad. I haven't watched the last season. Because it just got to a point where it was too hard to watch. In that everybody was just kind of going through it. And I was like, I'm going through it enough already. I don't know if I want to see fictional characters going through it. Because, yeah, it was at the point... When did I stop? I think I stopped watching Breaking Bad not long after there was the plane crash that happened. And at that point, it was just like, I feel like there's too many moving parts and all of them are leading to bad things. And I I don't want to say bored because I don't feel like I was bored of it. It was just like, this isn't really doing anything for me anymore. And so that's where I stopped. I've stopped shows like in the middle of seasons just because I get tired of them for various reasons. And I never really considered myself a picky person, but I've been thinking about it more frequently and I'm like, no, yeah, I'm an extremely picky person. What the fuck am I talking about? Chat summary thinks Boot Hill is in a show. Oh, yeah, there's like that weird AI chat summary thing now, right? You guys will have to tell me if anything funny comes up on it, because I can't see it on my end. But yeah, I start a lot of shows. I don't finish a lot of shows, is the thing. I'm just not good at finishing shows or games in general. Just because I feel like once I finish a thing, then it's over and I'm sad and there's nothing new to discover. And I'm just like, oh. And then I get sad. Like, I never played the last Professor Layton game because of that. I was just like, but I don't want it to be over. And so I will just never play the final installment. I'll probably play it at some point. But 3DS games are harder to come by now. But yeah, I watched Dexter a few years ago, and I was extremely into Dexter in the first season. And I think I watched up until like the first few episodes of season 3, and then I was like, this isn't good anymore. And I turned it off and I never came back to it. Because Dexter was one of those shows where it was like, it felt like they blew their best plot twist in the first season, and then they didn't know what else to do, and so they just started coming up with more and more convoluted shit, and I was just like, this isn't fun anymore, and I turned it off. I've cut off a lot of shows like that. A lot of anime is, I stopped watching just because I've just have come to the realization, this isn't good anymore, and then I just turned it off, and that sounds so shitty, but it's just like, I have so little time in my life, you know? And it's like, I never go into a show wanting to dislike it, because I don't want to waste my time on a show that I don't think is good. It's like, listen, if I wanted to make Narrative Academy a show just where I watch a lot of bad media and talk about why it's bad, I could do that, but I would not have fun. What I want to do with Narrative Academy is take stuff that I watched for better or worse and talk about, like, why it interests me. I don't want to actively seek out bad media. I will leave that for other people who have very different YouTube channels from me. I also thought Dexter's Lab. No, the serial killer show. I don't think that show is still going. I forget. I watched that several years ago at this point. Cough cough Star's thoughts on Demon Slayer. Oh, the video I could make, the Narrative Academy video I could make about Demon Slayer. Oh, the things I could say. But the thing is, I will probably not ever make a Narrative Academy on Demon Slayer because that would require me to finish watching Demon Slayer, and I don't want to because Demon Slayer is bad. Dexter's Lab ended a long time ago. Not Dexter's Lab! It's not the show we're talking about. It's a live action show about a guy who kills people. And I like shows about people who kill people. I've talked about this in the past. I can't do true crime because it just makes me sad. But I enjoy watching fake crime. I enjoy watching dramatized fake crime. I enjoy detective-y shows. I enjoy the shit out of Criminal Minds. I stopped watching after season 12. Because I feel like they kind of... the quality is kind of diminished a bit. And season 12 was really hard to watch. But I enjoyed the heck out of that one. Also, Dexter. The live action show, not the cartoon! has a bonus of one of my favorite tropes ever being in it, which is character has a secret and can't let the other cast members know it. And like sometimes this manifests as like a secret identity thing, but a lot of times it's just character has a secret and it can't, if it gets out, it will change the character's life dramatically. In this case, if people find out that Dexter is killing people, he will fucking go to jail and be a lot of bad shit would happen to him. And so the whole show is like about him trying to not get caught. And it's very fun for me, Star, to watch. Me, Star, loves watching characters who are not very good at keeping secrets try desperately to keep a secret and fumble the ball constantly. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's like heroin to me. Ah, why am I Emery? What the fuck? I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong keyboard shortcut. What about Bones? I've never watched Bones. I've heard of it, but I've never watched it. My parents used to watch a lot of police procedurals when I used to live with them, but those were never the ones I was super into. I liked Criminal Minds because I liked the mystery of it, right? I enjoyed the mystery aspect of it. And the investigations I thought were very fun. Trying to piece the puzzle together. That was the fun part for me. It's also why I like detective-y games and stuff too. I'm not the best at like coming up with theories. I just kind of like to let the show or game just take me where it's gonna take me. I just like to watch and just, you know, be immersed in a storyline and just see where it takes me. So I'm not the type who like theorizes super much, but I enjoy a mystery. I enjoy the suspense, etc. Oh no. Oh no, wait, did I actually, I think I may have accidentally, these were not the same, okay, thank God. Wait. Although that's still on the sketch layer. It's still on this, okay. I accidentally merged some layers a few steps back, but they are not merged anymore. We're good. I was like, how long have those layers been merged? Not long at all. I could just go back and whoa, that gave me a small heart attack just then. Fear. Exactly, fear. That gave me the heebie-jeebies for a hot second. So have you ever considered making a video about how to make and run an art shop and tips and stuff? I have thought about it. I have thought about several things. 1 second. Okay, see, this is not my stream playlist anymore. I fucking hate that the default shuffle on Spotify now is shuffle with smart recommendations, i.e. just like random fucking songs that aren't in my playlist suddenly being played in the middle of my playlist. I'm like, this is not in my stream playlist. What the fuck is this? I don't know you. Get out of my playlist. It's like, if I hit shuffle, it means that I want it to shuffle. But now Spotify has like 2 options and the icons are barely distinguishable from each other. And it's like, if you hit shuffle the first time, it's like shuffle with smart recommendations. I'm like, I don't fucking want your smart recommendations. Just give me my playlist in a random order. I wish there was a way to turn it off. But anyway, I have thought several ideas about several videos that I would like to make. The thing right now is that I'm just kind of chasing my bliss in regards to what videos I make next. I'm not sure entirely what my next video is going to be. My next video will either be on a specific topic or it will be something entirely different. So here's what's going on right now. Is that I have a potential sponsor lined up for a potential next video. And if the potential sponsorship goes through, I'm gonna do an art style challenge because I feel like it fits with what the sponsor wants. And it's a video that I've wanted to do for a while anyway, where it's just like I draw one of my characters in the style of other games and TV shows that I like. So that's what my next video will be, if the sponsor gets their stuff together, because they're being a little weird. They're being a little weird and giving me multiple very different quotes for how much they want to pay me. And I'm like, okay, so this number that you just... So they originally contacted me a couple months ago, and they gave me a quote then for how much they would pay me. And I was like, okay, I can work with that. It's you know, like, it's within the range of what I usually get paid for sponsorships. So I could do that, but I am very busy, and I will not have time to continue this conversation. Can we circle back in a couple of weeks? And they said, sure. And so it has been a few weeks. They circled back, and now they're quoting me like way less than what the original quote was. And I was like, hey guys, which is it? How much do you actually want to pay me? Because this second quote you just gave me is not enough. Make sure it's not a scam. No, it's not a scam. It's definitely like other people have worked with these guys before. They were just being a little bit weird because I think maybe they forgot that they gave me a quote already. And because it took a few weeks for us to circle back. And I think they forgot that they gave me a quote already. And then their second quote was like less than a third of what they were originally going to pay me. And I was like, hey, I'll do it for that first price, but that second price is gratuitously lowballing me. So I either have a sponsor for that video or I don't. If I don't have one, I'm going to do something different. And if I do have it, if they do pay me what they originally said they were going to pay me, then I will do that. So you guys will know when the video... Can you say what sponsor it is? I'm not gonna put them on blast just because that would be rude. And also then if they do end up sponsoring me, I'd have to delete this VOD. But yeah, so. I will just say it's a sponsor that has worked with other YouTubers before. I have seen them on other art YouTubers channels before. And like, you know, they seem reputable. They worked with a lot of different people before. They're just being a little weird with me. And so I'm like, okay, I don't think you guys are being malicious. I think that maybe there was just a little bit of a miscommunication here. Can you get back to me on the actual number you're going to pay for, like, what you actually want to pay me? And so they haven't gotten back to me yet because I just emailed them like last night, but my order shipped. Yay. I just got that email. It's not Raid Shadow Legends. No, it's not fucking Raid Shadow Legends. But yeah, just a little off topic. So I was over the weekend, I kept thinking about this, like so I talk about in my my traditional art video, the one that's going up on Friday that you guys can watch right now if you're a member at Patreon, just saying. I talk about how it's like, Ohuhu sent me some fine liners, but I'm not generally a big fan of fine liners. So long as it's not BetterHelp. It's not BetterHelp. It's semi-art related. But yeah. So I was thinking about, like, because I have a line in my traditional art video talking about how it's like I use these fine liners, but I don't really like fine liners that much because I like to use a lot of line variation in my art, and fine liners just don't really do it for me. So I was trying to think about like what other types of pens I could use that would give me more line variation. And the first thing I thought of was fountain pens, because like I've used quill pens in the past. I've used like pen nibs and stuff in the past, but I don't like dip pens where you have to like dip them in the ink, because I like to draw in bed and I don't want to risk like knocking the ink onto my bed sheets. And I don't want to use a brush pen for the same reason. I am firmly against anything that involves me dipping a utensil into a vat of ink, because I feel like that's just, I'm a clumsy bitch. I cannot be doing that. And so fountain pen is potentially something. And I was like, okay, maybe this is the part where I get into fountain pens. But the fountain pen is like, it feels like such a labyrinth to get into. And not only that, it's an expensive labyrinth. Because fountain pens are expensive. But I was doing some research over the weekend. I asked for like some recommendations. I was like, hey, fellow artists, do you guys have any fountain pens you recommend? And a lot of people were saying, it's like, oh, you can try this, you can try this, da 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 da. And I was just like, in the process of researching, someone recommended, it's like, you know, you could also try brush pens. And I'm like, see, like, I've used brush pens in the past, but a lot of brush pens, I feel like I don't have the grip control that I need to really use brush pen effectively. My hands, I feel, are too unsteady for brush pens. Because, like, I've tried to use brush pens in the past, and it just didn't really work for me. But then I remembered a little something that exists. They're not like actual, okay, so just roll with me here for like a hot second. So there's brush pens where there's like, they're actual like brushes where like they're very long, like the fibers are really long, and they're like, you uncap the pen and it's just a self-inking brush essentially. I have used these before. I cannot use these consistently because there's not enough control. I tend to be very heavy-handed, and I don't like these. I like these occasionally for effects and covering like big areas, but for just general drawing, I hate these. But then I remembered that there is a type of brush pen that is different. They are like, it's kind of like a pen, but it's got like a flexible synthetic brush tip. It's like, it's short and it's thick, but it is a brush pen. And I remember that I bought a few of those. They're really good for like calligraphy. And a lot of people really like them for like calligraphy, doing stuff like that. And I was like, wait, I was thinking about that, you know, while I was researching fountain pens, and I was thinking, wait a sec, I feel like I have some of these. And so I went digging, and it turns out I already owned a few. So it's like synthetic brush pens, but they're like very, very short, and they're not like actual like, you know, fiber brushes. They're like little felt nibs essentially. They're similar to Tombows. Yeah, I think Tombows use those. Similar. So I had bought a few when I was living in Japan because I was, you know, like on the hunt, and you can buy so much good stationery in Japan. And so I bought a shameful amount of stationery while I lived there. And I wish I still lived there so I could buy more. But I got some like Chroneco brush pens while I lived there, and I bought several, and I went digging and I found my stash. And like the 3 of them were out of ink, or like low enough on ink that they were infuriating to draw with. But 2 of them still had ink, and I was like, ah, hell yeah, let's freaking go. And so I was experimenting with drawing with those. That's what I did for these, by the way. This was highlighters and then that Chroneco pen. And so I was playing with these, but then I also went and did some dangerous shopping on the JetPens website, and I bought like 6 different varieties of ones that said that the ink is, the ink is like immune to Copics, because the pen I have right now, the Chroneco pens, I like them. They take too long to dry, and they are not, they tend to bleed and smudge when I use markers on them. And so I was like, I need something that's gonna hold up to being colored with Copics, because if I can find something like that, oh, that's a fucking game changer. So that is, I went onto the JetPens website, and I bought several varieties, and I'm gonna see what kinds I like. And then once I figure out what type of pens I like, it's over. It's over. Because then I will be an unstoppable force of nature. And I will be insufferable. And y'all will all have to deal with me. Just drawing constantly. What a nightmare! What a goddamn nightmare, am I right? Actually, I have an idea here. Hurricane Star, yes, absolutely. Cause like I did like 5 pages like this last night. I put on some Let's Plays in the background and I just drew like all of these. Like each one of these took me like 5 minutes tops. And I was just I was fucking zooming. I was having the time of my life with these and I'm like, oh, once I get a brush pen that like doesn't smudge or bleed quite so much, I will be a fucking menace. I will be unstoppable. I will be drawing fucking constantly, as that is a promise. Be prepared for that shit, gamers. But yeah, I'm excited. So I hope that at least one of the pens that I bought will work out. Because once I find one that I like, I can just stick with that forever, and that will never ever go wrong. But yes. Okay, and oh, actually, no, this is a better way to do this. Organizing my folders really quick. Wowie zowie. Cute, cute, cute. Sharpen these points a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I've just been having... You guys will see it. Because like I said, the video that's coming out on Friday is 5 minutes talking about, it's like, oh, look at these markers that this company sent me, and here's my affiliate link and all that. Okay, now that that's over, let's spend 15 minutes talking about how, like, monetizing your hobbies fucks with your brain. So you guys will hear me go off about, like, how my struggles with my art recently, being extremely candid about a lot of just shit that's been going on, like, with my art and the way I think about the things that I make. Y'all will hear me talk about it a lot, but I genuinely have been having so much fun just like doodling recently, and that has not been a thing for me in years at this point. So the fact that I am having this much fun is honestly kind of shocking, but I'm very here for it, and I'm very happy that I have finally kind of like found my pace again, right? Y'all aren't ready for that video. Yeah, it's kind of a lot, but I hope that it helps people. I've already gotten some positive comments on it, which has made me feel good, you know, but I like being open and honest about stuff, you know? Because I feel like I want to be authentic, I suppose is a good way to say it. And it's like, you know, sometimes I worry that I overshare a little bit too much in my videos, but like, my way of viewing it is like, if me saying this can help someone who is struggling with the exact same thing, then I want to take that opportunity, right? And like a lot of people have been responding to that video so far saying it's like, I've been struggling with the exact same things and it was really helpful hearing you talk about it. And it's like, that's why I wanted to talk about it, because like, you know, this is a kind of a universal problem for artists, is like, once you start drawing professionally, it stops being fun and it can be, you know, really hard to get back into enjoying it. And so it's something that I really wanted to talk about, right? I don't think you're ever truly alone in the universe. No, I don't think you are either, but it's very easy to feel like you are, right? And so it's like, if I can be a beacon for people by just making my silly videos on the internet, then that is my goal and that is what I want to do. I have had, just even outside of this video too, is I've had so many people tell me, like, your videos inspired me to make a webcomic, or your videos have inspired me to try art. Is like, I stopped doing art years ago, but watching your videos has made me want to try again. Honestly, the best compliments I've ever gotten. Because it's just like, I don't know how to phrase it, but it's like, the fact that I am able to, like, sit in my house and make silly little YouTube videos and have such an impact on, like, a positive impact on other people's lives, that's, like, huge to me. And that was not something I set out to do when I first started, but it's something that I very much think about a lot now. It's just that, like, people enjoy these videos, but more than that, like, if I can be a catalyst to help you help yourself and tackle the things that maybe you're scared of and try creative things that you wouldn't have tried otherwise, then that is absolutely what I want to do, you know? It's like, that was not my intent when I first started with YouTube, but it's been like such a cool thing that people have told me that I've been able to do for them. And I'm like, oh, that is the fucking coolest. And it's just like, hell yeah, you know, chase your dreams, right? I am glad for any help I am able to offer on your own personal quests, right? I just like helping people in my own little way and doing what I can and making people laugh along the way, honestly, so I do my best. You helped inspire me to get off my ass and make my webcomic. Now I'm on the Spider Forest Discord and it's great. Oh yeah, I'm glad you're having fun. That's awesome. Yeah, Spider Forest Discord's fun. I don't hang out in there too often, because, you know, I've got my own Discord to look at, but a lot of nice folks in there, a lot of good vibes in there. It single-handedly dragged me into the world of webcomics and I'm eternally grateful for it. Hell yeah! But yeah. But yeah, so I feel like I never finished this this line of thought, and so I'm gonna circle back to it now because I just remembered that we never circled back to it. So if my sponsor, my potential sponsor, figures out, if I can figure out the miscommunication with the sponsor, my next video will probably be the art style challenge video. But if they don't, and I have to do something else for July, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what my alternative choice is. But I know it will probably not be the art style challenge video anyway, because the thing about the art style challenge video is that I have to do a lot of extra art for it. I actually, you know, have to draw however many art styles for it. And videos where I have to make art specifically for a video will always take longer, and so they are lower on my priority list. But yeah, so I might just do like another art and story time that I've been sitting on for a while. Yeah, the Ghost Trick Narrative Academy, that one probably will not be my next one. The Narrative Academies take a lot longer to write and edit. And also I'd have to, you know, go back and fully replay Ghost Trick to get footage for it. And like, Ghost Trick is not a long game, but it's still, you know, like 12 hours and I'm a busy lady. And so that's hard to commit to. But I have been sitting on that part 3 of my Life in Japan Stories series. And so that one will probably be one of the next ones that I tackle. 'Cause that one's basically already written. I just need to, you know, put everything in order. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I might even do a poll, see what you guys are interested in. You could have someone record the footage for Ghost Trick for you. Yeah, but I mean, it's not just about the footage. It's also about, you know, like, taking notes to talk about, like, what's good in the game. like, replaying the game is not just for footage, it's also for research purposes. So it's not something I can just shop out to other people, right? And if I have to replay the game anyway, I might as well just record my own footage, right? You could do what I do and watch your own stream of it on in the background. I mean, I could, but listen, I want to replay the game. I want to do it anyway, and I'm not gonna have time for it. All these points are moot because I'm not gonna have time for it this month anyway. So it's nah. Him nah. However, what I will say is that I keep coming up with new ideas for videos. And as much as I appreciate it, I'm screaming at my own brain because I don't have time for all of the cool video ideas that I have, and it's killing me inside. Because I came up with a really cool one yesterday. And now I really, really, really want to do it, but it would take a while because it would involve a lot of background work. So the concept is this would be a narrative academy that's not specifically focused on like any particular media. But what happened was over the last week, I did a talk at a library, like a little tiny local library. They invited me to come do a lecture, and so I did my How to Webcomics presentation for them. And one of the questions that one of the kids asked was, how do you create characters? And, you know, I kind of talked about, it's like, you know, coming up with characters, how you do it, that kind of thing. And I have a huge section of my How to Webcomic book is actually built on, like, the act of creating characters and fleshing out characters and shit, right? And so I had an idea. Because I know that a lot of people will do like random character design videos, and I have a lot of fun watching other people do character design process, but like I realized that I love watching videos where people do like randomized character designs or character designs based on XYZ thing, but those always stop at the visual design of the characters, right? And it's just like, if I like made a random character, I'd want to, you know, actually flesh them out a bit more. I don't want to come up with characters just who are visually cute. I want to come up with characters who are visually cute and also have a tragic backstory. Yeah, like I want to come up with their whole personality and shit. And so what I'm kind of thinking is I want to make a narrative academy where I come up with like basically an entire, let's just build a character together, essentially. So what I want to do, this is the concept as of right now, is make a series of tables to randomize a D&D character. And, you know, just roll dice to get random stuff. And then do the art, but while I'm doing the art and their, like, visual design, I also want to talk about building up their character, building up their personality, like how do you actually make a character into a character? It's like building a character from the ground up. Start from nothing, and how do you go from nothing to a fully fleshed out character in like a full video? And maybe do it like 2 or 3 times, make like an entire adventuring party. And I think that would be so much fun. I want to do that so freaking bad, because I feel like, you know, it's good for like getting to draw character designs, coming up with new shit, but also, you know, talking about like the act of building characters and interesting character writing and how do you make these characters interesting. And if I do a whole character party, like a whole D&D party, I can talk about, you know, how characters have goals that can interact with each other and how I can go feral on so much shit. And so I think that is a video that I want to do eventually. But again, it is a video that involves doing specific art for that video. And it's coming up with, you know, like at least 3 characters. And that takes a lot of time. And I don't know if I have time for that right now. And so it's just like, God, I have all these ideas. I have all these cool ideas. And I'm just, you know. So yeah, so many things we want to do, so little time. That is my entire life in a nutshell, essentially. Okay, not to leave you guys in the middle of these emotions, but I have to take a quick break. I have to go to the bathroom. I will be right back. Don't do anything weird while I'm gone. Be right. Okay, I'm back. Jared hitting me with the gift memberships while I'm in the bathroom. How could you? This is a joke. Thank you very much for the 20 gifted memberships, Jared. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Everybody, if you just got gifted a membership, make sure to say thank you. Didn't do anything. Yeah, you did. You know what you did. But yeah, so right before I went on break, I saw somebody in the chat say D&D characters for this is probably too niche, and I agree with you, which is why I'm not sticking like very specifically to D&D, and I would phrase it more as like, hey, let's make some original characters. I really like D&D, so I want these to be potential tabletop characters, and we're going to use some stuff from D&D, but I'm going to simplify it a lot, so even if you don't know D&D, you can still get into it, right? Like, I probably wouldn't have, like, a D12 table for every class. I would probably simplify it and, like, be like, hey, what if we do, like, probably, you know, like, combine fighter and barbarian, combine the main casting classes, combine a couple of different things, make it more like mage, sword person, like sword person. You get the idea. Simplify it down, kind of use D&D as a base, but just in general, like fantasy characters, you know? What I'm most interested in potentially randomizing is the character backgrounds. Because I love like the backgrounds in D&D. Is like, I never use them one-to-one, but I do think they're a good starting point, and I think those are a lot of fun to play with. But yeah, so in short, I have a lot of video ideas and not nearly enough time in which to do them. And so I suffer. It's like, if YouTube was my only thing, I would have so much more time to do, you know, other stuff. But But that's the true for everything. Right? It's just like one of, I don't want to say it quite like this because I feel like it sounds far too dramatic, but it's just like, I feel like I just have too many things going on. I just have too many things, but the problem is I like all of them, and so it's hard to, I either like them or they're too important to not do. And this is why I suffer. Because it's like, I don't make enough just on my YouTube channel to do just YouTube stuff full time. Otherwise, but like, you know, if I could just do YouTube stuff, I would have so much time to do so many cool videos, and I would have so much fun doing them, and it would be a blast. But also, I don't know if I want to do YouTube full time. Maybe I could do YouTube and like just YouTube and the webcomic. If I could do just YouTube and my webcomic, that would be probably the easiest, right? But unfortunately, a large part of my income comes from having my online store and conventions, and so I still have to do those. And it's a lot. It's a lot. It is a lot, gang. If you, just casually gonna mention that if you want to help me potentially have to focus on less things and be able to make more things, I do have a Patreon. I don't yell about it on my streams nearly as much as I feel like I should, but there you go. I have some pretty basic tiers. You get early access to Castoff pages and early access. You can get early access to my videos for as little as $2, but I also have some stuff like you get early access to Castoff pages if you do $5. I get physical rewards and shoutouts at the higher tiers. But yes, we just need to get started with 1 million members. You single-handedly funding that, Jared, my guy. But yeah, I would love to, like, focus just on the webcomic and YouTube. But, like, YouTube doesn't make enough money on its own. I make a decent amount on YouTube, but it's not at, like, a livable wage. And, you know, I make a good amount on Patreon, but that is also not a livable wage on its own. So, you know, it's just, we suffer. Boy, do we suffer. But, you know, it's like, it's fun suffering, which is a wild thing to say maybe, but it's like, I do like my job. It's just a lot sometimes, you know? And I just always keep thinking, it's like, man, there's so much stuff I would do if I had to less focus on fewer things. Gee dang it. Gee dang it. Is there What's Left of Us this Friday? Yes! We didn't play What's Left of Us last month because our DM was out of town. He had other plans. Couldn't play D&D for us. How dare, honestly. But we will be playing on Friday, so that is good. Yes. Oh yeah, and then I saw this message and I didn't respond to it before it scrolled away. Someone asked how the D&D video is coming. I was gonna work on the D&D video last week, and then my freaking stream decided to just not function for whatever the fuck reason. It's kind of been on the back burner for a little bit. The D&D video is like, it's such a big project, and there's just like some stuff going on in the background that's making it a little bit more difficult to work on. But I'm still, you know, I chug along, right? And so, you know, hopefully at some point I will be able to schedule another work stream for it. That's the type of thing where it's like, I don't really work on the D&D video outside of streams these days. So like, you guys know how much progress I'm making on it because you are seeing the progress happening. But it's been on the back burner because I haven't been streaming, so. I still want to finish it. I still want to get it to completion, obviously. It's just like, I haven't really been able to work on it for a little bit, so. But yeah.
Hi Star, would you recommend putting comic pages onto Webtoon if it is formatted for print?
Cartoonist Jack, thank you for the super chat. Yeah, that's what I do, and it's been going fine. So, I mean, Here's the thing about Webtoon is I don't make comics for Webtoon. My comic is not a Webtoon. If you ever call Castoff a Webtoon, I am firing lasers at you from space. So don't do that. Please don't call Castoff a Webtoon. You will make me lose 3 years off my life every time you do. So I still put my Castoff pages on Webtoon, even though I don't earn any money from it anymore. Just because everyone at conventions will come up to me and be like, oh, sick, you have a comic. Is it on Webtoon? And like, you know, you don't want to have to say no because then they're not going to read it. Some people will only read things if they're on Webtoon. And I hate that Webtoon has that kind of monopoly over indie comics. It kind of sucks. But, you know, we take what we can get and re-roll with it, right? So I still put my pages on Webtoon, but because I don't actually give that much of a shit about Webtoon, I just literally put Castoff pages up there pretty much exactly how they look on the Castoff website. Because you know what? I know that a lot of people read Webtoons on their phones, and it's hard to read. You can scroll. You can zoom in. You can zoom in. It's not that hard to zoom in. And Castoff has, like, I've never formatted my pages for Webtoon, and I still have, like, God, what, 60,000 subscribers on Webtoon? So that's 60,000 people who are still willing to read the comic, even if it's not formatted for cell phones. So, like, yeah, do it. I hate Webtoon as a platform, but I will grit my teeth and just maliciously comply for the people who prefer reading on Webtoon. I will not format my pages for Webtoon because it's not a Webtoon. I will put my pages there, but I will not bow to your mobile format Webtoon because my comic is not intended to be read on mobile. It is intended to be read as a webcomic in a graphic novel format. The fact that I posted it all on you is begrudgingly and filled with hatred. But I do it regardless. I just use it to get people to read my stuff, so I only post on Webtoons once a month. Same! I post on Webtoon once a month, and it's mainly to advertise for the new Mail Club stuff. So, like, I make my monthly Webtoon update at the start of every month, right after a new Mail Club set has just been dropped, so that people can see it, and, you know, maybe join my Patreon. Maybe join my Patreon.
Thanks so much. I'll get right to a thumbs up comment +1. Thumbs up.
Yes, thank you for the super chat. Good luck. Do the thing. But yeah. That is... You guys got the mini Webtoon rant this evening. I don't want to go on the full rant right now because my brain's too tired, but that is the truncated version of the Webtoon rant. The extremely truncated version is they don't pay me, so fuck them. Actually, let me do this. And do... Yes, excellent. Ah! I'm a professional artist. Got any cool lore cooking in your brain for the personality swap AU? I love the idea and I want to hear you talk about it. Oh man. So, this is actually not the first time I've drawn something like this. The personality swap AU has its origins in just some random art I did of what if Vector and Ariana had each other's personalities. And I drew that way back in the day. And I thought it was funny. And so the idea there was like that Ariana was the little bookworm locked inside, and what if Vector was the cool, angry bounty hunter? Just because I wanted to try drawing them like in ways that I didn't usually draw them. And I don't know if I think I still have that art on my computer. Let me check. Let me see if I can't search it real fast. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on, my UI is doing something fucking weird. Did they change heights as well? In the original AU, yes. So Ariana and Vector swapped heights. Vector was a lot taller and Ariana was a lot shorter. And what I realized was all I did was just, in swapping Vector and Ariana's personalities, I just made Alpha Vector again. Because, let's see if I can find it easily. I don't know if I can find it easily. In this folder. Not in there. Is it in here? It might be in here. This seems promising. This is a bunch of old shit. Yippee-ki-yay. Yes, I found it. Look, it's cursed. It's cursed. This is so old that Squariana's still a thing. 2016! Oh my god. 2016! Oh my god! But yes, so this was the original role swap. And see, I am gonna do something different here. For this version, I'm not swapping their colors, I'm just swapping their personalities. And their roles in the story, right? So Ariana will still be red, Vector will still be yellow. Where'd Vector get the scar? I don't know. It just makes him look cool. Don't ask questions. Why do you think I know things? I just draw shit that looks cool. I'm not, like, smart. I don't know. He just looks cool. But yeah, the original story here is that, so Vector, in case you guys didn't know this, I've talked about this several times, but in case you guys hadn't heard, Castoff was inspired by a dream I had my freshman year of college, which was all the way back in 2010. And in that dream, Vector was the main protagonist, but his personality was extremely different from how it is now. Original Vector, I'm gonna call him Alpha Vector, just like alpha version, not like alpha male, although he was kind of close to that. Original Vector, Alpha Vector, was very, kind of Lelouch Code Geass-esque. He was very much like the grumpy resistance leader asshole type character. And so I ended up giving his personality to Ariana, whose design I had forgotten until like 2 days ago that I actually stole from an unreleased character from my first webcomic. So Ariana came from, okay, so originally, we never got to her introduction because we didn't get far enough in Psy for this to be a thing. But there was a character in Psy who never got introduced, whose name was Arlana. Like Ariana, but with an L instead of an I. And then, so she had like black hair in, if you know anime, you know the Hime cut. Where it's like the blunt bangs and then like the slightly longer bangs that kind of frame the face, but then like the long black hair. She had that hairstyle. And her name was Arlana. And so when we never got to her in Psy, but when I started thinking about, you know, characters in Castoff, I was like, okay, what if I remix this and make this character who's, you know, very like kind, very sweet. She didn't have a lot of personality because I didn't develop her very much. But what if I take this character design and name and I kind of remix it into this bitch, points at Ariana. And so like honestly the role swap AU, at least for these two, is very much kind of like going back to their roots of the very, very first version of Vector was kind of like the grumpy resistance leader asshole character, and the very, very first version of Ariana was not very Vector-esque, but was a lot more, you know, like sweet and nice And that was about it. That was her whole personality. And so then, over the course of the next few months, as I developed the characters, Vector became small, bookish nerd, and Ariana became a bitch. So, yeah, so the role swap is actually, it's kind of funny, because it's also, you know, going back to their more original forms. Barely even a swap, I swapped their personalities originally when I was developing the story, and so now it's just taking them back to what they were. Turning them back into what they were originally, demetamorphosizing them. And the same thing happened with Rory. So I haven't talked about the other trio yet, but for these three, I actually did theirs in a circle, where Frankie swapped with Rory, Rory swapped with Marina, and then Marina swapped with Rory, personality-wise. And so, like, these two are kind of nah, but Rory was, if you guys remember from that video I posted not too long ago, Rory's original personality was very timid, very shy, not as motherly as Marina, absolutely not, but very, very different from the Chaos Gremlin that's in the comic today. And so it gives me a chuckle. And I gave her braids back. She has like the double braids that she had. Original Rory had really, really long double braids. And so I kind of gave her those back in spirit a little bit. For this AU. Just because it's like, yeah, we're going into the deep history here. The deep history of Rory back when she had twin tail braids and a very, very timid personality. Back in the day, the earliest versions. And like the earliest version of Frankie, he was not a gremlin, but he was just not very nice. He was just kind of does things for the money. And if he's not getting paid, he doesn't care. He's basically, I get paid to care type of character. And so while that doesn't really match up with him having Rory's personality, it's a little closer to what he used to be like, but it's sort of not entirely. But yeah, I haven't really thought too much about how it changes the plot, because the plot wouldn't really change if it's just the character swapping personalities. It would really just be like, okay, well, now instead of Ariana kidnapping Vector, now it would be Vector kidnapping Ariana. So like the plot wouldn't really change too much. It's just like where the characters are in relation to each other. The most fun that I have had with this AU, like developing the personalities, I can show you guys the print, because I haven't shown the print yet. Here's a sketch for the print. My idea is that Gremlin Frankie is still a robot, but he uses the inventor instincts to experiment on himself. And so he basically just like, rather than Rory coming up with a bunch of inventions, it's literally just Frankie being like, what can I make my arm do? What can I make my arm do? And so he's just like constant. It's like not a secret. It's like the first thing he tells people is like, by the way, I'm a robot. Check out my laser arm. So that's like the biggest plot change. Is, you know, like Vector, Frankie, the inventor engineer character, just constantly experimenting on his robot bod and trying to get it to do new stuff. Like a self-rigged VTuber. So yeah, this is gonna be the print. This is what we're working on Wednesday. Oh, I mentioned it on Discord, and I did change the time on the waiting room, I believe. We're starting late on Wednesday, because I forgot that my cat has a vet appointment at 4:30, and so I probably will not be home. I changed the time till 6. I should hopefully be home by then, but we will have to see. So just be aware that we will be starting later than normal on Wednesday. But yeah, so in general, not a lot changed about this AU. It's mostly just like which characters do what. But, you know, it's just fun. It's fun. Is your cat okay? Yeah, she's just Molly's getting her annual vaccines. Nothing bad. It's just she's due for, like, you know, rabies and stuff like that. She will not enjoy getting poked, but it is for her health, so. How would Sage change? See, I didn't think about it too much, but if, like, because he's not going to be in any of this merch. But, I mean, if you look at the cast, there's not a lot of other people to swap him with except Zara. So imagine Sage and Zara, where instead of Ariana and Zara's whole thing, that whatever they have going on, it's Vector and Sage having whatever the hell their thing is like, you know, Ariana's like, my brother's dead. Vector could be like, my dad's dead. And then, and then wait, shit. So yeah, I don't know. There's potential there for some fun shenaniganery, but it will not be explored this month because Sage is not involved. I couldn't squeeze him in. Emphasis on dad. Listen, Sage is the only dad in Castoff. Happy Father's Day to Sage Castoff. He's 15 years behind on his child support. And Sage thinks Vector died. Oh yeah, it brings up like a whole other can of complicated worms when you, like, how Vector was born and all that shit, right? Which I can't go into too much. I will go so feral on the details once chapter 12 is over, okay? But I can't yet. And it's killing me. Cause I just, one thing I will giggle about is I do not think people... I have seen 0 correct predictions on where chapter 12 is going. People seem, like in the theory chat, seem so extremely confident, but like I just finished a batch of pages that's like, I don't think anyone expected this thing to be what happens immediately afterwards. And it's just, it's so funny to me. I'm just like, the people are gonna go crazy. The chat is gonna go wild. When these pages come out, just because it's like, I think I have successfully thrown everyone for a loop. And it's like, it's still logic-based. There is still internal logic, and it definitely works, but it's like, no one has really... I haven't seen anyone in the theory chat assume that this is gonna be what happens next, and that just gives me a hearty chuckle. A hearty chuckle I have for everything about that, and so I'm very excited. I just finished a batch of pages today, and I'm very excited to see people's reactions to it because I think no one's really expecting it to go in this particular direction. And it gives me joy and it makes me giggle. So, this is the fun that we have. Hee hee hee. Hee 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 ha ha. Hee hee ha ha. Hee ha hee 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 ha. But yeah, we're having fun, chat. I'm very excited. I know that people miss, like, the main cast, and I promise you we will be getting back to them eventually. But it's just like, I was talking to my mods about this the other day, that, like, up until, like, more recently than you would think, the entirety of chapter 12 was 5 paragraphs of exposition. And then the rest of chapter 12 was all the stuff that happened immediately after that. It was literally just gonna be like Sage just talking into the camera for a while like little snippets played in the background. That, like, the entirety of chapter 12 was going to just be, it was just that. And at some point I realized, oh, this sucks actually. What if I, you know, show don't tell? And now chapter 12 is that. But that's no fun. No, it wasn't. That's why I changed it. But like, the version of the script I found that still had it was from 2020, like the end of 2022. Chapter 12 started at the beginning of 2024. Like I started working on it at the end of 2023. So like freakishly recently, this chapter as a whole just did not exist. And that's wild. Wow, that's a recent change. Yes, it is. Like, I was telling my mods about it. Originally, Nico didn't even have a fucking name. Like, Nico was not going to have a name. He was just a fucking guy. Like, do you guys want to read it? Like, I'm not going to post the whole thing, but I will read you some snippets. Hang on, if I can find it. Like, it's wild. Okay, I can't read this whole thing because some of it is still a little bit spoilers. But I'll read the first paragraph because we've covered that much in the story already, right? So this is chapter 1 of like 6 or 7 paragraphs that would have just been Sage expositing. But this first paragraph is, nearly 2 decades ago, a man came to my lab. He had no name. He was just a man. He was not Nico as a character. He was just a guy. He was just a fucking guy. He had lost his wife nearly a year prior, and the grief of losing her had started to take a toll on his well-being, dying of a broken heart. After medics and counselors failed him, he sought me out as a last resort. I wasn't sure what I could do, but I promised him that I would try my best to help find a solution. So like the entirety of the events of chapter 12 was literally just Sage expositing. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. Listen, once chapter 12 is over, I will post the full thing on like Discord or something, but I'm not going to read the whole thing right now. Because some of it is still spoilers for what happens at the end of the chapter. But yeah. Sage explaining his tragic backstory, everybody else, what is bro yapping about? I mean, basically, yeah. I mean, the appeal of that version was that it was a lot shorter. We would have gotten through it in like 10 pages. It would have been just like 10 pages or fewer of just Sage talking, and then we move on with the plot, right? But it didn't have any kind of impact, really. It was just like, it was just being stated like you were being given a math lesson. It wasn't interesting, it wasn't emotionally resonant. It didn't do anything, which is why I changed it. And now, like, Sage and Nico are getting so much screen time because, like, this is important shit. This is, like, plot stuff that we've been wanting to get to since the fucking prologue. I've been setting this shit up for almost a decade. 10 fucking years this shit has been, like, you know, being built up. And I almost just did exposition. I almost just revealed 10 years worth of, like, big plot as just a few paragraphs of exposition. And this is why we don't stick with our first draft. I'm just like, looking back on it now, it's just like, God, the comic would have been so fucking different, in parentheses, worse, if I had gone with my original vision of chapter 12. Because, like, holy shit. So Nico did try therapy. I feel like everyone in the Castoff website comments assumed he didn't try that first. Yeah, the idea was, like, he did try, but it just didn't really help enough. But I mean, I am the first person to make jokes about the plot of chapter 12 being men will do literally anything but go to therapy. I will be the first person to make those jokes, and in fact, I was the first person to make those jokes because I wrote the fucking story, right? But yeah, I like to imagine he probably tried, and it didn't help very much. And so that's why he turned to Sage instead. And he was just so eager to, you know, solve the problem that is just, make sure you get a proper review of your spells, kids, because otherwise shit can happen. And that's not spoilers. We all know that this is going to go badly. We all know the dread. How did his fiance die? It's not spoilers, but the thing is, like, I never worked out the hard specifics of how his fiance died because it was never going to come up in the story. But it's like, I never got into the nitty gritty gory details, but it was some kind of accident. It was some kind of thing where like she got injured and he wasn't home to help. And he feels extremely guilty about that because it was the type of thing where it's like, if he had seen to this quickly, she would have been fine. But because he wasn't there and she was alone and he wasn't able to help her fast enough, she passed away. And so that's like kind of the tragedy of it, is like, oh, this could have been avoided and it wasn't because I wasn't there, Nico. And like, that's where the inherent tragedy of it comes from. But yeah, I never worked out like exactly what happened. Try to cook a big pizza and die. Why do you guys assume it has something to do with pizza? Jeez. Gas stove wouldn't light and she forgot to turn it off. God, yeah. Something like that. It's just like, it's such a sad thing. It's like, I don't want to dwell on the nitty gritty gory details, and so that's why I never really went into detail in the comic, because like, it's fucking sad. It's fucking sad, right? And so it's like, we don't need to know exactly what happened. All we need to know is that it's sad. And like, some people would berate me for that, but at the same time, it's like, I personally don't relish in characters dying or being hurt. I know you guys might think that is not true, given how I treat some of my characters. But it's like, when I hurt them in the comic, I hurt them for development purposes, right? It's like the suffering has a point. But in the case of like the fiance, it's just like, I don't want to dwell on the horrible, horrible tragedy that ended her life, because that's fucking sad. And also, she's not really an important character. She's barely even a character. She never is gonna show up in the comic. And so, like, I would accept her being considered, like, a fridged character, but at the same time, does it count if she never shows up in the story at all? That's, like, a genuine question, too. Does it count as fridging a character if they've never actually shown up in the story and they were dead from the beginning? So... mental anguish is easier than physical to read. That's also true. That is also part of it. That is also part of it. Is it's just like, I don't want to dwell on characters dying in horrible ways. It just makes me sad. So. Mother, why did you give me such a horrific backstory? I'm sorry, I needed to give you character development. I mean, yeah, though, is the thing. Like, yeah. I would love if this was an animated series that's got series potential. Okay, can we talk about that for a sec? Can we talk about that for a sec? I'm just using your comment as a springboard. I'm sorry to alarm you. So many people have asked me. Either, they ask me one of two questions. They ask me, would you want Castoff to be an animated series? And also, is Castoff going to be an animated series? The answer to that first one is yes, of course. I would love that. That's like literally the dream. That would be so freaking cool. I would love it if Castoff got to be animated. Will it ever? Guys, making comics is hard. Making comics by itself is hard. Making an animated series is so much work, and the way that people will just like casually toss around, it's like, hey, I like your comic. Any chance of it being an animated series one day? Like, hopefully, but I'm not in control of that. I barely have time to make a webcomic. I make a webcomic because I don't have the time or resources to do animation, but anyway. Habib, thank you for the 20 gifted memberships. I appreciate it. Let's freaking go. Everybody, if you got a membership, make sure to say thank you. Make sure to say thank you. Indie animated pilot for Castoff. If that was real, I would live and die for that. Listen, it's like, I would love for that to be a thing that exists. I genuinely would. I can barely keep up with it as a webcomic. I do not have the resources or the budget for animation. So, there you go. So it's like, would I love it if it was an animated series? Yes. Is that a plan in the cards? Absolutely not.
If you could go to any universe, being a show, movie, book, or video game, where would you go and why? Fan-aid worlds are an option and you can have abilities in them. I go to my multi-fandom story.
It's Lavender, thank you for the super chat. That is a tough one. I would definitely want to do some sort of fantasy world where there is magic. Because I want spells. My first thought is like Rune Factory, right? Because not only do I get to dress like a cute anime character, I also get spells. There's a spell in Rune Factory that's just the go home spell. Where it's just like, it's a shortcut on your controller. You press it and it teleports you back to your house. And I'm like, God, I want that to exist. Like, it would be hard because it would make it difficult. If I ever had to drive anywhere, I could, okay, if I were to teleport home, my car would have to come with me, which would also make things more complicated. If I could just get in my car and then teleport me and my car into my garage at home, then that would be perfect. But like, the spell does not take you places, it only teleports you back. But so I don't have like a good, solid, absolutely yes this answer. I just know that I want something with spells because I want to have magic. I want to have magic and I don't want to get killed by creatures. And that's most fictional universes, if they have A, they have B. I don't want to get killed by a creature. I just want to cast silly little spells. And most fictional universes, if they have silly little spells, there are also creatures. And I'm like, I like the idea of there being creatures. However, I do not wish to be consumed by a dangerous creature or have my village rampaged at by a creature. That would be less than ideal for me. So I don't know. That's a good question, though. Just use your spells to ward off dangerous creatures, but I don't want to fight the creatures. I want them to have their own place in the ecosystem. I don't want to fight them, because if I fight them, I might die. And I don't want to get killed by a creature. I don't mind the creatures existing. I just don't want to have to worry about them hurting me. I didn't say fight, I said ward off. I mean, I guess, but that would still imply that they are dangerous creatures, right? The creatures. Are hypothetical creatures. Become the creature? Now there's an idea. Ariana gets the vector eyes, but in red. So Nancy. Cause see, in the original, I swapped their color palette, so Vector got to be the bounty hunter, and he's got switched to red. And Ariana got switched to yellow, and she's the shy baby. This one, I'm letting them keep their colors. I'm just swapping the personalities. So it's different. Oh, god damn it. I did the wrong layer thing again. Why do we even have that layer? There, that looks a little better. All right. So fucking weird. I gotta give Vector eye shines. What the hell? I never give Vector eye shines because his eyes glow. And so his eyes would not naturally have shinies. His eyes is the shinies. Look at him go. Look at my children. This is so cursed. This is the most cursed the art has ever been. No one has ever drawn anything more cursed than this. And if you're about to offer a rebuttal that says, no, Star, other people have drawn more cursed things, no. I have drawn the most cursed thing. And it is this. The thing is that the red glows are not going to show up nearly as well. Unless I do it like that. But... yeah, the glowies are not going to be quite as visible, but... Why'd you swap the glowy-eyed character? Because the glowy-eyed character is a role that they are swapping. It's not just a personality swap, it's a full-on role swap. Vector is the glowy-eyed character with too much magic for their own good, and Ariana is the snalty bounty hunter who comes and ruins their life. We have swapped them, so all of those things get reversed. So would Miss Jacobs be swapped with the Queen? Ooh. I'm not sure, actually. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think it'd be the Queen, though. I think it'd have to be somebody else. Miss Jacobs' role in the story is, like, so minor that it's kind of hard. I have to, like, you know, go back and run the numbers again. All right, here are my weird cursed kiddos. Here are my weirdly cursed... Oh, wait, no, I have to give Vector his little magic circle. Because he's casting a spell. Give me one sec. Which one do I want to use? That's probably... All of these have, like, specific uses, right? No, that's different. That's a different thing entirely. Where? This one. No, not that one. There's, like, one in particular that I'm looking for. Oh, is it this one? Yes, there it is. There it is. Invert the colors for a hot second just so I can see better. Oh, this feels so wrong! He's got the yellow glowy magic! Oh my goodness! Oh, my sweet, sweet boy, this feels so wrong! But also so cool. Would Terrence, Sonia, and Liam swap amongst each other, or would they swap with other characters? That's a good question. That's hard to answer because Sonia and Terran, at the very least, their roles in the story are so similar that swapping them wouldn't really do much. If one of them swapped with Liam, it would be interesting because okay, so the thing with Liam is that we haven't gotten much from Liam, but Liam does have a pretty big role in the story. We just haven't gotten to their stuff yet, right? We just haven't, like, seen much of him. He hasn't had a chance yet. But, like, we're going to get more of most of these characters. We just haven't really had the opportunity to yet. And, like, Liam's role in the story is very different. He is very, like, attached at the hip to the other guard characters. He hangs out with them almost entirely. But, like, his overall role in the story is very different, and I cannot talk about what that means even a little bit, because we're talking spoilers for the epilogue of the comic. I cannot talk about it. Like, big spoilers for, like, very late game. Can't go into it, but it would be interesting. The what? Yeah, the epilogue that I already have, like, written in my head. Because, like, I told you guys, I've talked about this. I know how the comic's going to end. I've known since well before even starting it. I have changed a few things about how the ending plays out. But, like, we still end up at the same... We change the route slightly, but we always end up at the same destination, right? I think I'm going to add just, like, some little patchoos. Make it a little bit more visually interesting. Not, like, just a random glowy. Liam single-handedly funds Sage's pizza shop. Yeah, the post-canon pizza shop. Does that spell have a particular use? Yes, so all the spell circles have, like, particular uses, and so you'll see the same ones get used over and over again. This particular one is technically, it is a spell that only Ariana has used. It's like a custom variant of, like, another spell that exists, that other characters have cast in the past. But this is technically the spell that Ariana uses for, like, her super jump ability. I just call it, like, the movement spell in general. But I'm using it here. It's also my favorite of the spell circles, and so while it's not necessarily appropriate here, maybe this is also a spell circle has different purposes AU, because I like the design of this one best, and so I wanted to use it. Lame ass reasons! Don't come at me! So, like, all the ones I just opened. So this is, like, this I believe is Ariana's magic missile type spell. This one's just called Explode, which is just, like, basically a more violent version. I think the only time this has ever been used in the comic was Ariana was threatening Frankie with this one because she knew that this spell did not work on him. I'm pretty sure. Because this one is, like, this one's just, like, a general attack spell. This one will kill you. And I believe the only time, I could be wrong, it's been so long, but I think the only time this one has ever been used was Ariana was threatening Frankie with it after she already knew he was a robot because she knew that the sleep spell would not work on him. I'd have to go back and double check. And then this one, I believe, has only been used in the comic once. This is the wind spell. This is what Ariana used to make the boat go in chapter 7. Did you do the design for the magic circle for the MS? I assume you mean magic circles. If you don't, I don't know what MS stands for. But magic circles, yes. I designed all of these. I tried to, like, kind of give them... My magic circles are not, like, as complicated as the stuff in, you know, like, Witch Hat Atelier. I wish that I had done that. But you have to understand that the magic circles are mostly there to be pretty. And it's not a story about the magic system so much, right? If I could go back in time after reading Witch Hat Atelier, I would have absolutely, like, made a more specific set of rules for the magic circles, but mostly they're just cosmetic. What's the timeline for finishing the entire comic? I don't know! Why do people ask me this? This question gives me heart palpitations every time because I don't know. I've been working on this comic for almost 10 years and we're halfway done. I don't want to think that far ahead. And the problem is it keeps getting longer because every time I script it, I keep coming up with new shit that I want to add. And then it just, like chapter 12, I just said what we're reading right now did not exist until like a year ago, less than a year ago. And I added like probably 70 pages to the overall runtime of the comic by doing this. But I thought it was better for the story, and so I did it anyway. Why are you guys so impatient to have the comic be finished? Enjoy the journey. That's what I'm trying to do, but I keep getting this question, and it doesn't hurt. I wouldn't say that it hurts my feelings, but it makes me anxious. It's like, I don't know, but I keep getting the question over and over and over again, and I'm just like, ah. Yeah. One of the top 10 things to never ask a writer/artist, when will this be done? Yes, exactly. Exactly. Okay, gang, so here's the thing. Here is the thing. I'm done with this one for right now, I think. I think this one is finished. I could start inking the next one, but I'm not going to be able to finish this one on this stream. And I think it's going to take long enough that I'm not... I think I'm probably going to go ahead and call the stream here. I know it's a little early, but I'm sleepy and hungry and I want to go eat dinner. And I'm finished with one of my stickers. So I want to go finish the second. I'm going to finish the second one tomorrow, I think. I might do it as a TikTok stream tomorrow. Or I might even try a YouTube short stream. I don't know. I might experiment. I might fuck around tomorrow. But I also might not. But point is, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it for today so I can go get food because I am hungry. But yeah, so thank you guys for joining me for stream. We colored these babies. We colored them. We inked and colored the babies. So in case you guys missed it, these will be the stickers for next month's mail club. If you want this sticker, join the mail club on my Patreon in July. Wait until June to end and then join the mail club if you want these stickers. If you join this month, you will get the asexual Pride Month sticker set, which, you know, you can still do. You can still do. But, you know, if you want these specifically, join next month. We will be back on Wednesday. I'm going to be working on the print, but remember, we will be starting later than usual on Wednesday because I have an obligation, a scheduling conflict earlier on in the day. So we're going to start, I think, at 6. We usually start at 5. I think we'll probably start at 6 next time, hopefully. Hopefully, if the vet doesn't take too long. But yes, so I'm going to go ahead and call it for today. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will see you all next time. Goodbye.